Good morning, Shady Bells. We are live. We are live. We are live. Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I want to give you guys a few minutes to come in here and join me. Before I actually hit that live button, I thought that I was going to look black and white because I'm using my iPad right now. And for some reason, it was looking like I was going to be in black and white instead of in color. But anyway, it's not. So, because I was sitting over here looking at the screen and I was like, why does it look black and white? Hit the like button when you come in and share the video if you can. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. um, First, I want to say welcome, 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 welcome to the live. And thank you to everybody that is newly subscribed. Thank you to all of my old subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you all for your support that you've been giving me for this last week. It's really been overwhelming and grateful, and I'm grateful, very, very grateful. First, I wanted to tell you guys that what my channel was about initially. My channel was basically cooking and vlogging and things of that nature. And then as soon as I started covering the Shanquella Robinson story, I started to get a new audience. And, you know, I believe that in this YouTube business, whatever it is that your audience want, that's what you give them. So I am going to be covering the Shanquella Robinson story more, and also different events that's taken place around the world. So from the support that I'm getting, I'm noticing that, you know, the new subscribers and the old subscribers too want to know and hear about what's happening in our world today. So I want to be able to create that type of platform for you guys over here on this channel. And I do have another channel that I've been sharing on my community tab. It's called Let's Vlog and Cook. So those people that is interested in, like, you know, my personal life, where personal life meaning like vlogging, spending time with family, friends, and things of that nature, and even my cooking videos. I love to cook, so it will be a lot of cooking videos over on that channel. And that channel again is called, let me tell you guys right now, I think it's called Let's Vlog and Cook. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's called Let's Vlog and Cook. Could y'all thumbs up this video, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So last night I was gonna go live and I was gonna do a StreamYard. I had set up the StreamYard for 9 p.m. last night, and when around 8 o'clock, when I went to change my cover picture on StreamYard, I was unable to do it. So I just decided not to do the StreamYard because I didn't want to come on camera last night. I just wanted to do the StreamYard, and I also wanted to play some videos for you guys that's showing the life and how life is in Mexican prisons. And the reason why I wanted to cover that is, of course, we know that this Shanquella Robinson case is still going on. The individuals involved have not been reprimanded yet. And I just wanted to show and talk about some of the conditions in Mexican prisons, some of the conditions, some of the experiences or whatever have you, that they will most likely experience while they're locked up in the Mexican prison system. Good morning to everybody in the chat. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the Walmart shooting. And the Walmart shooting, it took place on Tuesday. Yeah, that was Tuesday in Chesapeake, Virginia. And that was another unfortunate situation. You know, every time situations like the Walmart shooting occur, or even this case with Shanquella Robinson, the first thing that I say, and not just me, but people in general, y'all thumbs up this video. We got 17 people watching. Please thumbs up the video. And the reason why you need to thumbs up this video is because it is good for the YouTube algorithm, for them to share out my video, for more people to come watch and things like that. So please do me a favor. It's free to hit the thumbs up the video, and yeah. But anyway, um, a lot of times when these type of situations occur, we always resort to the narrative that, oh, what is this world coming to? This world we live in today is crazy, and this, and that. Like, as if it's only things that has been transpiring or taking place like nowadays. But in actuality, these type of situations have been happening for a very long time. For example, the DC sniper. The DC sniper situation happened in 2002. And most of us black people thought that it was a white man. Come to find out, mm-mm, no. It was a black man, and I think it was his son or stepson or something like that. But they weren't black, surprisingly to all of us in the black community. The other situation that I remember, and this happened back in the 90s, this was in 1999, the Columbine shooting. Those boys in Columbine, Ohio, I believe it was in Ohio. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know y'all will. Y'all definitely will correct somebody when they're wrong. But the Columbine shooting happened, and it was a group of white kids, some Gothic children, that shot up the school. Y'all remember that? And that happened in 1999. Then we have the Unabomber. Yeah, the crazy behind Unabomber. And the Unabomber was sending mail and even hand delivering mail to people, injuring about 23 people and killing 3 people. And this went on from 1978 to 1975. So it's not just today that these type of things are happening. These type of things have been happening for so freaking long. And in my opinion, the things that all of these people have in common that I just mentioned, I believe that there was some mental illness. And the fact of the matter is, mental illness is so real and prevalent in this world, and it goes so unnoticed that it's ridiculous, especially in the black community. We don't believe in mental health checks. We don't believe in going to counseling and things like that. Although now, today, I believe that more people in our community are um, becoming more aware and wanting to get the mental health checks and go to counseling and stuff like that. I've been to counseling. Maybe like 2 times, and it's very helpful because when you go to counseling, the helpful thing about it is that they help you to identify and realize certain things, right? And the only way that it is really, really helpful is if once those things that you learn and realize about yourself. Okay, it was Colorado. Okay, thank you. Once you realize and learn those things and unpack the things that the therapist helped you to unpack, um, you then have to make the decision to make the changes, because you can identify certain things about yourself or certain traumas that you've been through in the past or whatever, but then don't do anything about it. At that point, you have to do the work. You have to know that, um, okay, I've identified this thing that has happened to me in the past, and now I'm going to change it. You can't continue to blame your past traumas on your current behaviors, because then you're just going to keep repeating a vicious cycle, a vicious cycle. And I know that I had been guilty of that very behavior. So, but back to the Walmart shooting. This was an unfortunate tragedy that happened right before Thanksgiving, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And then the guy who, what was his name? I wrote down notes, but I didn't write down the name of the young man who did the Walmart shooting. Let me look that up really quick. What was his name? Hold on. Why did I write his name down? And he was young too. He was a really young guy. Let me see. How's everybody's Sunday going so far? Hope your Sunday is going well. It's not giving me his name, guys. Andre Bing is his name. Okay. He was working at Walmart since 2010. He was working at Walmart since 2010. And he was only 31 years old. So he wrote a letter. They found a letter in his phone, and basically the letter was saying that, you know, he had been harassed and bullied by his coworkers and things like that. His parents didn't treat him right, and he came to work and took it out on the employees. Well, his employees that he shot, I don't know if all the employees he shot were people who were um, bullying him or harassing him or whatever the case may be, but all that rage and frustration and anger and stuff like that he felt, he came to work and let it loose on them. So we just got to be careful who we or how we talk to people, because we don't know what's going on with them at home. We don't know what kind of traumas they've experienced or whatever the case may be. We just got to be very, very careful how we talk to people when we go out into the world, even people that we know in our personal lives. Like, we got to be very careful. We don't know what these people are dealing with mentally, emotionally. It's just, it could be a lot, and everyone don't have the mental or emotional capability to deal with certain things. And that Walmart situation was a perfect example of that. That was a perfect example. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that for a few minutes. And my glasses, I broke my glasses the other day, y'all. Don't laugh at me. I got one arm on my glasses, y'all. I only need them to read. I can see perfectly clear, but I can't read without them. So I call them magnifying glasses, because they make everything that I read look a little bigger. So, yeah, I'm going to get another pair. Don't laugh, y'all. Anyway, let's get into the Mexican prisons and the Cabo Six. And as we all know, there has been an arrest warrant issued for one of them. And I don't know which one it is. I don't think anyone knows which one of them it is. But we can only assume that it is an arrest warrant for Dejanay Jackson, because the arrest warrant describes the person as the aggressor in the situation. Although in that video, it did appear that Shanquella was still alive and, you know, still awake or whatever. But you can tell that the blows that she was getting from Dejanay Jackson were very violent, and they were very hard, to the point where when she hit the ground, she was still sitting up from what I remember when I watched the video, but she didn't look like she was coherent, or not coherent, but she looked as if she was getting dizzy from the blows that she was feeling. So that video doesn't determine that Dejanay is the person that took the fatal blow, the blow that caused her injuries, that caused her death. There is allegedly a video that hasn't surfaced yet that Winter Donovan is supposed to be in, that caused the fatal blow, allegedly. We haven't seen that video yet. But because Dejanay is the person who is violently beating her up, I think it's safe to assume that the warrant is for her. Although they all need to be arrested, because even though the others didn't physically cause any harm, you stood by and watched it. You stood by and watched it. So that makes you, I want to say, an accessory. You egged it on, especially the cameraman. He egged it on. He sat and watched one of his friends beat up another friend of his. So you're responsible as well. Let me see. It was something I had wrote in my phone. I took notes in my phone, and I wrote down notes on a piece of paper in my book. Let's see. Okay, I went over that just now about the arrest warrant. That's what I just went over. Okay. So, one thing for sure, two things for certain is this. Once the person in question who has the warrant out for their arrest is reprimanded and is in the custody of the Mexican authorities, trust and believe I'm going to say Dejanay, because that's who I believe it is, will be singing like a canary. Because them Mexican prisons ain't no flipping joke, okay? They're no joke. I mean, the bottom line is the American prison system and the Mexican prison system are both corrupt. Don't get me wrong, they both have their share of corruption. I ain't never been to nobody prison, but from what I see on these documentaries and from what I see on like these different videos that surface on social media and stuff like that, and I even did some research, and watched a couple of videos of people who spent time in the Mexican prison system from America, and these were real life stories. So these stories and these videos and stuff like that that I've been seeing and that we all been seeing, we know for a fact that the Mexican prison system compared to the American prison system is way more violent and harsh. They not ready. Mm-mm. They are not ready for what they have to look forward to, especially the men. I think the men involved in this situation, they got way worse circumstances that they're facing than the females involved. Although, you know, prison is prison, it doesn't matter. Prison is prison, right? So the one thing that I did, no, before I get into the information that I did gather, I want to play a video for you all that I saw when my sister sent this video to me from TikTok. And the video is about femicide, like the charge that the young lady that I believe in question is being charged with this femicide. Femicide is the act of killing a female. And to go further into it, I read somewhere or heard somewhere that it's the act of killing a female because they're a female. So I don't know if that is the right charge to give for this case, because I don't think that this was done because she's a female. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Everything I'm saying here is opinion based. It's not actual and factual. Well, not everything, because I'm about to give y'all some information on the Mexican prison system and how it's ran and things like that. So femicide is the charge that she's being faced with. Dejanay Jackson, in my opinion, that's who I think is the person who is going to be arrested, who the warrant is out for. But my sister sent me this video, and it was talking basically about the prison system in Mexico. And I'm so mad that my StreamYard was acting up last night, because I wanted to actually play the video on the screen on StreamYard, but because I'm on YouTube Live, I can't do that, obviously. So it's just going to be a video that I'm going to play from my phone. And yeah, we're going to do it like that. So
will soon find themselves here. La Mesa, a prison that strikes more than fear into Mexicans.
Everything's dirty. Just sitting on the toilet is horrendous.
And one where Americans feel like scum.
I'm a United States Marine. Over there, I'm a hero. Over here, I'm a villain.
A self-contained empire governed by one man who rules with an iron fist.
I am very proud. This prison used to be notorious.
A jail that houses cold-blooded killers. Fighting back leads to harsh punishments.
They just leave us to rot away in here and lock the doors.
The inmates, known for having short fuses. Keeping things under control is a potentially deadly battle. Juana will soon find themselves here.
all right. So that is the Mexican prison. Y'all see the conditions? Oh my God, let me look at that again. This is crazy.
Juana will soon find themselves here. La
The
Mesa,
Cabo 6 will soon find themselves here.
that strikes more than fear into Mexicans.
Everything's dirty. Just sitting on the toilet is horrendous.
And one where Americans
Yo, it just looks so disgusting, and
United States Marine. Over there,
it looks like a place for animals. Okay? Not for humans. It looks like a place for animals. But guess what? You do the crime, you do the time. Wherever you do the crime at, that's where you do the time at. Also, most of us want them to be charged and convicted in the Mexican prison, right? I know I've seen a couple of people saying, and it was very few, a couple of people saying that they should be extradited back to the American prison system, the American authorities or whatever. But the thing about that, this is what I heard on another person's platform. Shout out to what's her name? Gigi. I can't think of her name right now, but she is a YouTuber who's covering this case as well. Her name is going to come to me in a second, y'all. Give me a minute, because I like to give people their accolades and their their credit. But anyway, on her platform, she had a former police officer come up there and speak on extradition from Mexico back to the United States. Gossip Girl XOXO. Exactly, yes, Gossip Girl. Thank y'all. So y'all make sure y'all go and check out her channel, because she's been doing an amazing job at covering this story as well. But anyway, it was a former police officer, and basically what she was saying, that in order for a case to be extradited from another country back to this country, they would have to have proved that there was a plan in place for this crime to take place while they were in America. So there would have to be a text message or a letter or something that was written here on U.S. soil before they went to that country. And then they can be extradited back to the U.S. and tried here, or whatever the case may be. Or they'll probably be tried. See, I didn't get a full understanding of everything she was saying, so I'm trying to interpret it the best way that I can. Or they'll be tried in the country they committed the crime, and then if America want to extradite them back here to try them here too, there has to be evidence of that, and then they can be extradited back here and tried here and stuff like that. But I do know that the family can file a civil suit in the U.S. They can definitely do that. Okay, let's see what I have written down here. Okay, so last week when I was doing my research on what's the maximum amount of time that you can do for murder in Mexico, I found out when I was doing my research and I looked online, it said the maximum was 40 to 60 years. So for a life prison sentence in Mexico, they're never going to do a life prison sentence. But they have to be eligible for parole, or they have to be paroled within 40 to 50 years. But last night, again, my sister sent me another video, and this came from the lead attorney. He was on TikTok. It was a video of him on TikTok explaining how much time a person can do for committing a crime like this, for killing someone. And after I looked at his TikTok video, I did go research it, and what he said was confirmed from what I did research. So I'm gonna play that video for you all. And this is the lead attorney. I love the lead attorney.
3 years of nursing experience.
Right.
Damn.
The reason I'm saying this is because I spent a lot of years working with spinal cord injury patients. And depending on how high the injury to your spinal cord is, if you can breathe or not. So you're not gasping for air. Your lungs you're not moving. So I used to work
Thumbs
with
up the
patients
video,
on
guys.
ventilators, and occasionally it would pop off if they have a spasm, right? The ventilator would pop off. Their body is not going to move because they need the ventilator to move. If you have an injury up here, you're not breathing. So it's impossible for the doctors to have come there and made any assessment. She wouldn't have had no signs of life. When she fell, if you look at the video, you can see when the back was broken, because it's a certain way a paralyzed body can lay. If your body is not paralyzed, there's certain positions you just can't naturally go in. When she first was slung over and she sat up like that, that was just, her neck was broke at that time. And that's why you can tell the people that's in there knew something was wrong, because they were like, get up, like demanding for her to get up, because they knew she couldn't. She looked different and she didn't move after that. There's no breathing with a broken neck.
Well, that's interesting, and I want to look at this from two different ways, because the first way is very interesting. Here's why. Under Mexican law, if you kill somebody in a fight, the maximum amount that you can get is 12 years in prison.
Okay, in the fight.
Right, that's the max. If you kill someone in a fight, the max you can get is 12 years in prison. But what's interesting about that? There is a law which gives an enhancement to the 12 years. And if you kill somebody in a fight, but you kill them by suffocation, then it goes from 30 years to 60 years. So if you kill them by poison or by other things, but one of the things is suffocation. So what you're saying, Natural Beauty, is, hey, if she couldn't breathe, if she somehow suffocated, then that 12 years can get flipped from 12 years. Now we're talking about 30 to 60 years that you will never make it for a 30-year bid in a Mexican prison. Ever.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that's where the difference is. Like, so y'all heard what the lead attorney said, that if you kill someone in Mexico and you suffocate them, killing someone in a fight, the max is 12 years. But if you suffocate them, that could change. If you suffocate them, that could change. And according to what that nurse says, she was already suffocating after Dejanay attacked her in that room. But that's her professional opinion. We don't know if that's actual and factual. But based off of her experience and her being in this field, the nursing field, and from her experience, that is what she is gathering. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, life in prison in Mexico, it's legal. It is legal to have life in prison. But as of 2001, the Mexican Supreme Court stated that all persons sentenced to life or a lengthy sentence, which could be about 300 years, must become eligible after 50 years for parole. So it's not like the American prison system where you are sentenced to life and you can really literally spend the rest of your natural born life in prison. Although I do know in America, in the United States prison system, if someone is sentenced to, let's say, for instance, 18 years to life, after 18 years, they can become eligible for parole and come home, depending on how their behavior was in prison, the different things that they accomplished in prison and stuff like that. Okay, let's get into this other thing this other piece of information that I found out in my research of Mexican prisons versus prisons in the United States. There is no jury in a Mexican in Mexico. There's no jury during trial. All of the trial, the determination if the person is going to be locked up or freed, or how much time they're going to do, or whatever the case may be, is decided by a judge. There is no jury trials in Mexico, with the exception of a case of treason, and those proceedings are primarily written. Those proceedings are primarily written. So there is no jury trials in Mexico for citizens. And I wanted to get into the benefits or the pros and the cons of having a jury trial versus a judge trial. A trial that is that's going to be determined, the end of the trial that's going to be determined for a jury trial versus a judge trial. So I wrote that down. Got my little notes, y'all. Y'all thumbs up this video, please. Thumbs up the video. Thumbs up this video. We got 23 people watching and only 18 likes. Y'all can do better than that. Come on and thumbs up this video. All right, so here are some of the pros for a jury trial. So for a jury trial, jurors tend to have more compassion. Jurors tend to have more compassion. Just think about it. If you're a juror and you're the trial is a case like Shanquella Robinson's case, and you're a juror and you're a mom, and you know these people. That's not what I wanted to say. You're a mom or you're a dad. You're a parent, period. And you lost your child. And in this trial, you have these parents who lost their child in this violent way, a broken spine, went away with friends, and instead of your child coming back from this vacation where she went full of life, happiness, and looking forward to having a great time, but instead of coming back feeling good about this wonderful, glamorous vacation that she was on, she come back deceased. You bring her back in a casket, in a box. And you're a parent sitting on this jury, and you hear all of this. You're going to be compelled by that story. You're going to be pulled at by your heartstrings instead of your mind strings. Your heart is going to be pulled and yanked at by this story. So you will tend to not really take in consideration the evidence in this case more than you would the emotional side of what you're going through while listening to this. So that is one of the pros of having a jury trial. Another pro for having a jury trial is jurors are easier than officers. They're less concerned with the technical details, and like I said, they're more compelled. They're more concerned with listening to a compelling story. So all the technicalities that's involved. Most of the time, if it's a jury trial, the technicalities will go out the window, especially if you are a parent that can relate. Let's say you're a parent that went through something like this. Although the lawyers, when they interview jurors, they try to dig deep into your background and see what type of situations you've experienced in the past to make sure that you're not going to be biased, you know. And sometimes I believe that when jurors are selected and before they're selected, they're interviewed by the lawyers. I believe that first of all, we already know as a citizen what's going on with this case before we're interviewed by a lawyer to become selected for that trial. We already know what's going on with that case. You can lie so that you can sit on this jury and be one of the people to convict these people who you feel are guilty anyway. Because in America, in America, you're innocent until proven guilty by the judicial system. But as citizens, when we watch what's going on in the media, we already have a guilty verdict in our minds. Now, in Mexico, it's different. It's not the same. Their judicial system, you're innocent until proven guilty. I mean, you're guilty until proven innocent, sorry. Their judicial system, you're guilty until proven innocent. Over here, you're innocent until proven guilty. However, we all know this is why they don't want jurors watching TV, watching the news, and things like that in these high profile cases, because the media can sway your thinking. The media can sway your thinking, and you will walk into that courtroom on deliberation day and sit up in those stands and deliver a guilty verdict based on your emotions, based on what the media is saying, and things of that nature. And I'm not saying that that's how all jurors operate, but these are some of the pros when it comes to a jury trial. Now let's read some of the cons. The cons are basically the opposite of what the pros are. So one of the cons is King Sunrise. Yeah, I do remember that. One of the cons is juries can be too emotional and they can be swayed by personal emotions. So basically it's the opposite of what the pros is. I mean, it could work in your favor or it could work against you as the person, the defendant, the defendant who is on trial. Right? The other con is that with a jury trial, it is unpredictable and they more likely will misunderstand aspects of the case, such as evidence, burden of proof, even the judge's instructions. So most jurors are people these are your peers. These are your public peers. These are your society, the people that you walk amongst every day and you work with and you live with and things like that in your community and things like that. Most of us do not know the law. So we'll be sitting there listening, and everything that we're listening to sounds like this. Wonk, 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 wonk. Right? So that can be a con. My tea is cold now, but it's not cold, it's warm. So you'll be sitting there as a juror, not knowing what the heck is going on, right? Now let's go over the pros and cons. Can y'all like this video, please? Like this video. Let's go over the pros and cons of a judge trial. So the first thing is a judge trial tends to be unbiased. They do not let emotions get involved. So again, the opposite of what a jury trial would be. Judges are going to go off the facts, the evidence, and everything else in between. It's not going to be emotional. Well, we would hope it's not anyway, being as though, you are a judge, right? You should be basing your judgment, not opinion. You should be basing your judgment on facts only as a judge, right? The next pro in a judge trial is a judge has full understanding of the law. So they understand evidence and due process and, you know, um, burden of proof and things like that. They understand all of that. So because they have a full understanding of the law, there's nothing that a lawyer or a prosecutor is going to be able to say that's going to go over their heads. Nothing that is going to be said is going to go over their heads. They'll be able to process everything that is being said in that courtroom and make a fair judgment, we hope, right? So with that being said, that could be, in my opinion, a con for the Cabo Six. And the reason why I say that is because of the lack of evidence that they have in this case. Now, the video that is supposed to be going around of Winter White allegedly choking Shanquella and throwing her down to the floor, the ground, to the floor, whatever, and that supposedly being the fatal blow. Now, if that video is really a thing and that video surfaces, even if it doesn't surface on the internet, if it's given to the judge in Mexico, boom, right? There isn't a whole lot of evidence in this case, in my opinion. Like, well, she have the broken spine that caused her death. That's evidence enough. But when I say evidence, I mean like things that, like physical evidence that you can touch, feel, and see is what I'm talking about. So in that case, having only a judge deliberating over the trial could kind of be a con, in my opinion. But I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. What do I know? And another pro for a judge trial is that the decision happens significantly quicker. There isn't a long, drawn out deliberation back in the room where you got 12 people sitting down going back and forth and, mistrials and, what they call it when they can't come to a decision, like one person, oh gosh, I hate that my mind is like stuck right now. When they can't, what is it, a hung jury? Yeah, a hung jury. And that's when one person can't decide or something like that. They don't have to go through all that with a judge trial. With a judge trial, it's just one person. He is going to make a decision quickly because he ain't got time. Number one, he ain't got time. But most importantly, all of the things that I just named here, all of the pros in having a judge trial with him having a full understanding of the law, not being emotional and things like that, those are going to be reasons why having a judge trial would the outcome of the trial would be swifter, because this judge is going to make a decision based on facts, evidence, proof, unbiasedness, like all of those things. He's not emotional. He's thinking, and he's thinking on his toes. He knows the law and all of that and all of that. So for those reasons, this decision is going to be made very swiftly. Excuse me. So now I'm going to go over with you all the cons of having a judge trial. The first one is the opposite of what I just said. It's only one person deciding. That is one of the cons. That is one of the cons of having a judge trial. It's only one person deciding. You figure you got this one person that's making this huge decision over your life. At least with a jury trial, you have multiple people that can put their heads together and they can deliberate and they can say no, yes to this, well, this has happened, that happened, or, no, this didn't happen like this, and they could just come together and make a decision. But you got this one person that's making this decision over the rest of your life that could either go left or right. That could go left or right. Good morning to everybody that's coming in the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all thumbs up this video, please. Thumbs up this video. I'm not going to be before you guys much longer. I just wanted to come pop in here really quick. Let me go over this last con. Oh, my glasses is lopsided, y'all. Don't laugh at my glasses, y'all. Don't laugh. Please don't laugh at my glasses. This last con for having a judge trial. The judge knows all of the evidence. Because remember, when this case is first brought to a judge, the judge has to determine if all of the evidence is going to be admissible or not. And guess what? This judge can't unsee the evidence. So regardless if the evidence is admissible in the trial or not, this judge already saw all the evidence. So the evidence that was not admissible is still in his mind. And he or she could very well make a decision based off of what they saw as far as evidence is concerned that was not admissible in court. Who's going to know? Who's going to know that that judge didn't say to him or herself, well, I did see this piece of evidence that was just, so gruesome. And based off of that piece of evidence that was so gruesome, that was not admissible, I'm still going to take that into consideration because I saw it. I saw it. They didn't see it in the courtroom, but I saw it. And this piece of evidence right here is enough for me to say guilty, 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 right? So, in my opinion, I think and I feel like it's a good thing that the Cabo Six is going to be tried in Mexico. Well, no, 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 no. I take that back. Scratch that. I'm lying. I think it's a good thing that they're going to be tried in Mexico because of the simple fact that that's where the crime was committed and they need to be sent to a prison in Mexico so that they can serve a harsh sentence, right? However, I don't like the idea that there isn't going to be a jury trial because of the simple fact that it won't be people, it won't be their peers that will be there to listen to this case and be compelled by the story and have their heartstrings pulled at based on everything that's being told in this story, in this situation. So I'm like, I would say I'm like on the fence about it. Okay. I would say I'm on the fence about the fact that they're being tried in Mexico. I wish that them being tried in Mexico would be with a jury trial. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. All court proceedings is conducted in Spanish, and um, everyone is entitled to an interpreter. So there would and should be an interpreter in the courtroom. It is made public. The court proceedings are public. When arrested, the courts have 48 hours to determine if the charges require pre-trial detention. Pre-trial detention just basically means that the prisoner is detained before the trial actually happens. And if a decision isn't made in 48 hours, the prisoner will be released. What else is here? The bottom line is both prison systems are corrupt, whether it be in America or in Mexico. They both have a corrupt system. They both have a corrupt system. But the Mexican prison system, from what I understand and what I know, based on social media, um, these shows like Locked Up Abroad and movies and videos of people explaining their experience in a prison system, whether it's in America or not America, in Mexico or another country abroad. From what I understand, those prison systems, they are way more violent. Way, way more violent. One more thing that I did read about, and that is in the Mexican prison system, the rules are not made by the guards. Rules are made by inmates. So just imagine what life would be like in a Mexican prison system. These people are young. And as far as I know, they ain't never been to no jail or prison. Mm. Baby. They have never been to no jail or prison as far as I know. All of these people involved in this case, y'all do not want to go to a Mexican prison. They are in their mid-20s. They haven't even fully developed mentally yet. They haven't developed mentally yet. Ooh, they done fucked up now. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh, there was something else that I had read. What was it? I just thought about it and it left my mind just that quick, y'all. Hold on, let me see. Did I write it down? Ooh, they fucked up. Ooh, they messed up. They messed up. Mm, mm, mm. It's so sad. This is such a sad situation. We just celebrated Thanksgiving and Shanquella Robinson's family had to celebrate Thanksgiving with an empty seat. They had to celebrate Thanksgiving with an empty seat. She got a birthday coming up soon. January 9th is her birthday. This is going to be their first time celebrating her birthday without her. It's just so sad and unfortunate. And you Cabo 6, y'all need to turn yourself in, and whoever's holding you need to turn you in too. And whoever's holding you need to be held accountable as well. Harboring fugitives, that's a crime. That is a crime. That is a crime. And whoever is holding them, like I said, they need to be held accountable as well. It's a shame. We gotta watch who our friends are, our associates. Like, we can't, can we not call people friends anymore today? It's a shame. This is so messed up. Like, child. Then to leave her body there. The more I think about it, the more angry and frustrated I get about the whole situation. If there was no foul play, or if the Cabo 6 didn't do anything wrong, if they know they didn't do anything wrong, why did they leave her body there? Why didn't they wait for her parents to get there to pick her up? There's no way. This is why you know that there definitely was foul play, and they all knew what happened, and they tried to cover it up. As we all know, the recent um, news, updated news that came out with the police report conflicting the death certificate, the times, and all this conflicting details, all these conflicting details show that somebody's lying about something. Um, the Mexican police, they need to be held accountable once the evidence, or once it's proven that they um, deliberately put false information in a police report. The nurse or doctor or whoever that was there need to be held accountable, because at the end of the day, as a medical professional, why would you listen to a group of children? Basically, I don't. If you're the medical, well, they said that the doctor or nurse or whatever who was there, they were told that it was a non-medical emergency. But even still, as a person in the medical field, in the medical profession, as a medical professional, why would you allow them to dictate what you do with the patient? Why wasn't it insisted that you take this young lady to the hospital? And then y'all wait. Miss Winter Donovan, the one who spearheaded everything in terms of the doctors and nurses and things like that being there, and why didn't why was why did the situation have to elevate to her having seizures or going into convulsions in order for you all to say, okay, let's call 911? No. None of it is right. Let me see if I can go on YouTube on my phone and read some of y'all comments before I get out of here. I wish I could have done a StreamYard so that I could have dropped the link, and some of you could have come up here and given your opinion on this situation. All right, let me turn this down. So I'm going to read the comments. Thank you all for commenting and joining the chat and just watching and everything this morning. I appreciate each and every one of you. Tanya, hey, good morning, cousin. Sheila Breedlove, good morning. Good morning, Bridget. Tiffany Glasgow says the DC snipers terrorized us here. It was horrible. Definitely didn't think they would. Exactly. Nobody thought that they were going to be black. Etta Johnson, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Stormy. Good morning, Krista. Yes, it was Colorado. Your brother and sister went to that school? Dang, they was there when it happened. Well, thank God they weren't one of the victims. And, rest in peace to the victims who were victimized in that situation. And my prayers and thoughts goes out to that family as well. Etta Johnson says, I read somewhere that he left a note apologizing for what he was about to do. He was harassed and picked on by several co-workers, even overheard his so-called best friend talking about him. These friends do not deserve the title friend. They do not deserve the title friend, I swear. He was definitely at his breaking point. It still wasn't no excuse for him to do what he did. I don't understand, but sad, and I pray, yes. Yes. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Gossip Girl channel. She's doing an amazing job, like I said, covering this story. King Shara, hey, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Giovanna. Good morning, Marie. Even in Italy, Europe is a judge trial. Okay, I didn't know that. And yes, they are definitely in for a rude awakening. Good morning, CeeLo G. Anyway, y'all make sure that you thumbs up this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I'm going to be coming to you all with more on this story. As soon as I get or hear new things about the story, I will come over here and share it with you. But I'm not going to be sharing any information that I can't fact check first, because this is a very sensitive topic and I don't like to share false news. I don't, especially with such a sensitive subject and case. And I just don't want that type of I don't want the backlash. I don't want that type of content on my channel or anything like that. And make sure you guys go and subscribe to my other channel. My moderator Bridget did put it in the chat. It's called Vlogs and Cooking. Vlogs and Cooking. Let's see. Let me make sure. I keep forgetting the name of it. Let's Vlog and Cook. That's what it's called. Let's Vlog and Cook. If you scroll up in the chat, my moderator did put it in the chat for you to subscribe. Go over there and subscribe. If you like to watch cooking and, get some delicious recipes, and if you want to know more about my personal life, go on that channel and subscribe over there. I might still do certain cooking videos on this channel depending on what the topic is going to be about. I'm not sure yet, but I don't know if that's what you all want to see on this channel over here. But for the most part, it's going to be stories like this. I might touch on some celebrity gossip topics. I'm not sure yet. I have to see how things go as time go along. And of course, I'm going to be doing some upgrades to my channel with my microphone, camera, things like that very, very soon. And all of that and all of that. And that's because I want to make sure that I'm going to be giving my audience some quality content and things like that. But anyway, now I feel like I'm just babbling. I'm going to get out of here. Today's Sunday. I got a lot of things to do on this good old Sunday. But until next time, I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so that you'll know when I upload another video, because I never know when I'm going to upload a video or when I'm going to go live. So make sure the notification bell is on so that you'll know when I'm here on YouTube. And with that being said, until next time, peace. Bye, guys, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.